A full wrap-up of today's Wildcats contest. Top takeaways, reaction from the players and head coach Tommy Lloyd. Plus, your thoughts on what you saw. The postgame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed. Life well lived. This is your home for Arizona basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
2:20 to shoot. Love feed it back left for Del Orso. Drives baseline on Carrington. Reverse lay-in is good. Pretty move by Delly.
We talk about probing the zone. How about you drive a gap and finish a beautiful lay-in?
Delly's day at McKale Center. 20 points for the transfer from Campbell. 7 of 11 from the field. He knocked down 6 of Arizona's 9 3-pointers. Had a steal as well in 29 minutes. 78-63, Arizona knocks off Colorado in a game that give the Buffaloes credit. They hung around for a long time. Top takeaways from this one. When you're a bad team like Colorado is, bad things will happen to you. This game was tied at 40-40. Colorado had a fast break to take the lead and couldn't convert it. Went down, missed a shot, came down again, and their talented transfer, Andrei Yakimovsky, fumbled the ball out of bounds. And then the next thing you knew, Arizona was up 11 points. That's what happens to bad teams. When you turn the ball over against a team like Arizona in their gym, they are going to take advantage of those mistakes. 15 turnovers for Colorado, but again, turnovers that came at the worst time for them, because who knows? If they convert that fast break and make that bucket, they might have momentum. But as soon as he missed that shot, I'm thinking, that's one of those where you say, that one's going to come back to haunt you. That one's going to come back to haunt you. And it certainly did down the stretch. And Arizona simply made shots in the second half. First half, Wildcats didn't shoot the ball very well. Missed a lot. I think they missed like 3 layups, 3 shots right around the rim. A lot of those kind of things, bunnies, as we like to say, that just didn't go in. But second half found their stroke, shot 57%, and you get out of there with a 15-point victory, headed into the matchup with Iowa State as they came from behind to knock off Arizona State up in Tempe Monday night. Going to be rocking at McKale Center for an 8:30 tip. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. I am David Kelly. The captain is here. Kelvin Ifan, fresh off coaching.
Yeah.
And then we've got J.W. Madden. What'd you do during the break, J.W.? Did you cook something or?
I watched the game for a bit.
Did you go?
Yeah,
okay.
And watched the last 10 minutes at home.
Okay. There you go. All right. Everybody got in a little bit of something today. I was there too. 520-848-1290. The number to get in on the program. Top takeaways for you, Kelvin Ifan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect the games just to come from the start, from the beginning of the games to be a blowout. I expect competition. That boy knows Arizona. He played against Coach Lloyd 4 years in conference against each other ever since Coach Lloyd started. He understands what makes U of A tick. He come in running the zones, running tough defense, slowing the game down. He understands how to kind of muck it up. He never had a bunch of McDonald's All-Americans, so he makes sure that he comes in with a style to try to aggravate Arizona's style of play in the tempo. So I'm not surprised. I told you that these guys were desperate. They were going to come in and play. Coach called them out to the media. He kind of called them out by name. So you expected those guys to come out and compete, especially against the Arizona. So yeah, man, you got to tip your hats to them in the game that they played and the defense and the hustle that they brought. I think sometimes we forget that these other guys are playing the game as well. But with that being said, missed some of the first half coaching, but when I got a chance to look at it, Arizona just missing some easy shots. Guys you expect to play well, Caleb Love, Jaden Bradley, just missed shots that that they can normally make. So 15-point game could have easily been a 25-point game just if those two guys play a little bit better. But again, you don't mind winning games when two of your best players, your two best guards don't play well, but rebounding and assisting. Look at those stats by these guys. And they're bringing it, and they're bringing the intensity of playing hard as well, because Colorado only scored 63 points, and it had a lot to do with the way that those guards was playing as well.
10 assists, 2 turnovers for Jaden Bradley and Caleb Love. And if you add KJ, add him in there. So 16-5.
Yeah.
That's 3-1.
And that's 37 minutes for Love and 35 minutes for Bradley.
Right.
So he's getting those boys in condition for the long run. I had told you about that. I said, you got to get them in game condition if you're going to need those guys like that, And right now, you're noticing a walk-in Townsend. They're 20-20 with Vazar and Bryant. KJ Lewis stole some of those minutes at forward there. But, Coach kind of starting to figure out, the way that he's spreading out those minutes and what he's looking for from these guys.
I'll clue you in on what you missed out on, my friend. The mentor of Coach Boyle is Larry Brown. Oh. And Larry Brown only played man-to-man. And Tad Boyle has been very adamant for his, 12 years at Colorado, but where was he at? Creighton or something? Yeah, he was, this is like his 25th year coaching. He's always played man-to-man. He's never played zone. He doesn't play zone. You know what happened, Kelvin? 40 minutes of 2-3. 40 minutes of 2-3 zone. That's how much the connectivity between those Colorado players with that tight man-to-man that Tad Boyle's known for. They didn't play any man today. And so what happened? Well, Arizona, when was the last time they saw 2-3? It's been a minute. Nobody's throwing 2-3 at them. So there was a bit of an adjustment because, number one, they came into this game with the scout of Coach Boyle does not play zone. He only plays man-to-man. They weren't prepped to go up against a 2-3. That first half threw them a little bit. There were some moments where their offense got a little stagnant. Maybe the guys weren't prepped to do a 2-3. Second half, 22 points in the paint. Obviously, Delhi was extending the defense, making sure that they came out and kept them honest. I just think that whatever numbers you saw there in the first half were them not anticipating that a Larry Brown protege was going to be throwing 2-3 zone in McKale. I don't think Tad Boyle, maybe in his, 15, 20 trips to McKale in his time there, he might have played zone on 10 possessions. That's not what he does. Threw him a little bit, but I like the way that Arizona responded. Like you said, DK, 40-40. They missed the layup, but the response from Arizona right after that is really what led to the final margin, is that Delhi hits a 3, Carter Bryant hit a shot right after that, and they just kept extending the lead. I think, Colorado had 40 points. Let's double check the math. Colorado had 40 points. It was tied 40-40. Right. And that was with 14 minutes and 43 left in the second half. And with 8 minutes and 33 seconds left, they had 46 points. So they scored only 6 points in the next 6 minutes. It was really the defense locking them down, and Arizona's offense got a little spurt there and got to that final margin.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Let's take our first call, and it is John. You're on Meridian Wealth Management. Arizona game day after a 78-63 Arizona win over Colorado.
Well, it was a great game, especially I was a little worried because, Colorado's got a great coach, really. And we're not shooting great, and I always worry when Caleb is hardly making anything. But fortunately, the other guys, especially Delhi, man, he's getting better, and I'm glad he's a starter.
I agree. I think, again, that's the role that is – and, again, he got off to a little bit of a slow start. I think the majority of those points came for him in the second half. He only took 3 shots in the first half, and when those guys, like you mentioned, were not the main guys. I think I looked up at one point; they were 4 for 16 combined, and then they finished the first half 4 for looks like 17. Yeah, 4 for 17 in the first half.
Yeah, well, I remember him as the only guy he hit 2 in the first half, as I recall.
Right.
and that's pretty good. Any players are hit 2.5. Most of the other players. And Taylor Love has just been so up and down. I know he plays hard, but he was a lot better last year. He's not showing to be an All-American. He's got to, the next 2 months, he's got to step his game up.
Consistency.
I don't know what it takes.
Yeah, consistency. You got to do it. It's like Tommy said Tommy says it with pretty much everybody. It's like what he's been talking about with Henry Vasar. Yeah, great, awesome. Do it do it next game. You got to consistently turn in those games.
And when you guys said that, they're one in the 2-3, and I saw them in the 2-3, the number one thing that takes away is the driving that Caleb did in the game where he was scoring and getting the layups. He has to be able to get to the bucket. You have to be able to get into transition or get some steals. But again, against a Colorado team that's desperate, they're getting 4 guys back on defense, taking away the fast break, taking away those easy baskets. And Caleb, we all know Caleb, he don't mind launching the 3. If you take that basket away where he can't get to it, he don't mind, getting those shots.
He don't mind and all. What is he tonight? Like 3 out of 16 or something? Not very good.
Yeah, no, not very good. But you know what? He's not afraid to take that shot. Yeah. And what it shows is that's the reason why he's been able to have a few great games. And in games where those shots are falling, plus he's attacking and getting layups and free throws. But in games when those shots are falling, it just makes us a greater team. And when we lose games when he doesn't play well, it makes me even more optimistic on how far this team actually can go. Seeing Deli play well, I want to see him play better defensively. I want to see him stat a little bit more defensively. Townsend, I want to see him get a few more rebounds. There's a lot of this to go around. But when Caleb Love does play well offensively, this team has a high ceiling.
That's excellent. I want to see if we can keep it close to Iowa State. That means we're on the verge of being one of the top teams. We're on the edge, but we need Caleb and others to step up. But if we happen to beat Iowa State, man, that would be – they could beat us by 20. You won't know.
Yeah. I don't know if you can – if you shoot 38% in the first half against them, you might be in a little bit of a hole.
The only thing you're going to be playing against man. So that should make it a little bit better. But it's the best man-to-man defense in the country. So it's almost like a zone.
Wow. I got one more comment for you guys. I've said it before. I call in at least a few times a year. I'm an old fan back from Freddie Snowden. Any of you remember Freddie the Fox Snowden?
Yeah, I had
Bob Big Bird Ellis. Those years, those were good years for Wildcats. We had good teams.
Yeah.
In the Pac Western Conference.
Freddie's daughter was in town for the Julius Erving event. And we had her on the program, Stacy.
Oh, that's great. Good to hear that.
Yeah.
I got one more comment before I go here. Does any of you guys on the radio have any influence with the president or the people that make decisions about the television networks that are charging a lot more money for ESPN2? We got people paying a lot more money just to watch. I could see every game last year, but now they got ESPN Plus. They want a lot of money to get these extra channels, and I can't even. I got to go to the bar, and even some of the bars can't get the extra.
Yeah,
channels,
you've said that before, John. When you've called.
I know, but is there anything that can be done?
I wish we had some control. We don't, and that's really not a university decision. It's really, it's coming. That's a conference deal with ESPN Plus. The schools obviously are grandfathered into that, and it's unfortunate. I'm in the same boat you are, brother. I couldn't get the game that's on ESPNU. For a minute there, I had to go into my mother's YouTube TV because I don't have that on my cable system, so I couldn't pull it up on my computer, but I was able to get it because I'm connected to my mom's YouTube TV. That was the only way I could watch the game the other night.
Yeah, well, same here. Fortunately, the good thing is when I can't get the game, I think, I get it. Nope. So I go out to my car, sit in my car for 2 hours, listen to the radio. And you guys on the radio are much better play-by-play than those high-paid TV guys. You guys are good.
I love it, John. I love it. Just make sure you don't run your battery out.
That's true. That's true. Well, good talk to y'all. Look for you to Iowa State. Next big game.
Big game.
Of the year.
Let's pack up McKale and be loud. There was
be loud and be proud.
Right. Right.
Hey, good talking to you all. Have a good day.
Thanks, John. You call anytime. That opens up a line at 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. I mean, I'll wait till Tuesday maybe to get on my son's rant in terms of like we called 3 places the other day on MLK Day to see if any of them had the Suns, because we wanted to go watch the second half of the Suns-Cavs game, and like literally like all 3 places said they didn't have
Suns
it.
game?
The Suns
games
game.
are on the free channel.
No, well, no, we don't. Yeah, but see, we don't get the free. Like on my side of town, we don't get the free channel. It's
18?
It's not on our cable system.
Oh, okay.
It's only if you
because
have
he
Cox.
wanted all the games. The new how is it Ishiro? But the new owner of the Suns wanted all the games to be free.
Yeah, but they don't have a deal with Infinity Cable. They have a deal with Cox. So if you have Cox, like we have it here, and the East Side, if you have Cox Cable or if you have an antenna, yes, you can watch the games. But if you have Xfinity, like me on the North Side. In the foothills, we can't get the games. And I don't think, and there's some bars that don't have it either, because if you don't have the package, then you can't get even, I think you can get the free channel, but what bar is going to unhook their satellite to flip on the free channel so you can watch the Suns? True. It's not happening. So, and that's unfortunately the same issue I think a lot of people are dealing with in terms of this new ESPN Plus setup too. And again, I've said we're going to try to maybe look into it a little bit further, see what bars have it, see what bars don't have it. The game Tuesday was on ESPNU. I think today's game was on ESPN2, if I'm not mistaken. So a little bit better opportunity to get today's game. And then I think Monday's game is on the main network, so you shouldn't have any problem with that on Monday. All right. We'll delve into that a little bit further. It is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. We've got much more coming up for you straight ahead. We'll have our best bets. Ouch. We'll have our keys to the game. We'll have our Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. I don't think there's any debate about that one tonight.
20 minutes, guys. 20 minutes for those numbers.
I don't think there's any debate about that one. We'll have that one coming out next. 520-848-1290 is the number. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
With these scratchers, I'll win enough dough to enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally know how to fix your car right.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck on that, guys. But if you need a sure thing, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. No appointment necessary, call ahead's welcome, or just stop by any of the 14 area locations.
And check out our full page of promotions and discounts at jackfurriers.com.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet. Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Thinking about replacing your heating and air system? It's free furnace season at Right Way.
These are some of the slowest months of the year. We have equipment in stock and our crews are available.
And we're including an 80% furnace absolutely free with the purchase of an air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we're offering 60 months no interest financing, tax credits up to $2,600, energy efficiency rebates, and 10-year parts and labor warranty.
Call or text 520-200-2422 today or visit rightwayac.com.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 five-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Townsend in the paint. Jumper is up. Too strong. Rebound. Owaka muscles it up. Blocked away. Tobe gets it back and puts it in.
Just yeoman's work for Tobe Owaka.
Tobe Owaka, 15 rebounds. Career high today. 8 points in 20 minutes. 15 rebounds in 20 minutes for Tobe Owaka. 7 at the offensive end. He had 1. I put up a video. It's on. If you go to our Twitter account at Wildcats1290, he got a defensive rebound, went down to the offensive end, got 2 offensive rebounds and the putback himself. 3 rebounds in about 30 seconds for Tobe Owaka. Any naysayers that he's the Window Depot glass cleaner of the game today?
Well, let's see what the Colorado team did. The high on Colorado was 6 rebounds in 17 minutes for Elijah Malone. So, no.
My pest of the game, Elijah Malone.
And I will do this, though. I'm going to shout out Caleb again, man, because he's probably averaging around 5.5.
6? You got another 6 today,
Another 6, man. I mean, he's not putting his head down when he's missing shots. He's had 4 assists, 0 turnovers.
4 assists, 1 turnover, and 3 more steals.
And 3 steals. I mean, he's not putting his head down. He's leading by example.
Here's his last 5 games: 6, 5, 6, 2, and 8.
In terms of assists.
Rebounds.
Oh, rebounds.
You're talking about rebounding for Caleb,
Yeah, I'm be interested to look at the tape just to see because we went 1 for 6 from 2, just to see what those 2-point shots were again.
He kind of like.
There were a lot of floaters.
I'm trying to think of a term that's good for radio. He kind of nonchalanted a few mid-range. They weren't floaters, Kelvin, in his first 2 misses. They weren't floaters. They weren't layups. They were right in between. And
I hate that.
I mean, for a 5th-year guy,
that's a pull-up.
Strong, just go up strong, even 2 hands or whatever. The floaty mid-range stuff. He's such a good finisher. There's just this little area, Kelvin, which is maybe 4 to 7 feet or whatever. He's not sure exactly what he wants to do with it.
And it's always, he didn't take one of those shots when he scored 27. It's always after he plays well. He get a little I won't say loose. He get a little lackadaisical with it. You know what I'm saying? He just got to lock in and take the shots that he. I always tell guys that floater is made for basically where you're going to the rim to get a dunk and you're like 5 feet away. Now you float it up over the guy because now even if you miss, your guy is in good rebounding position. Now the floater from 12 to 10 to 15 feet, that bounce is going to bounce over your guy's head. So now it isn't a good shot because now he can't get the rebound. I'd rather you go up and shoot a pull-up jumper instead of the floater. But that's the reason why a lot of coaches only like layups or threes because of guys messing around in that mid-range area with the floater.
It kind of folds into that whole, interviewing for scouts in a way, too, because guess what, Kelvin? If you're 6'3", and you don't have a 60-inch vert, you're going to have to float the ball over guys like Victor Wembanyama if you ever get into that level, right? I mean, floaters at the next level for smaller guards, you have to be able to put the ball up there with touch. When it's a situation where you don't get me wrong, Colorado has some shot blockers on their team. In that situation, to get it over the shot blocker is fine, but in a situation where you're not trying to deal with length coming at you, we've always talked about it. I like an 8-foot jump shot, Kelvin. I mean, you don't see that much in basketball anymore. People are at the rim, that whole analytics thing, threes or layups. But I really like, the elbow jumper that you wanted, DK, from Carter Bryant, which I think we should talk about.
Twice.
He did exactly just what you asked him to do. I thought that was great. But that 15-foot, jumper, that's a great shot because that's basically a free throw. But it's in between. It's in between a layup and that 15-foot jump shot, Kelvin, where people are just – they're not exactly sure. What their muscle memory is not telling them exactly what they want to do. Just shoot it as if it's a 10, 15-foot jump shot. Just go ahead and get it in the basket.
Now we just got to get him to take the 8-footer because he had a little 8-footer there on the baseline, but tried to throw
he got a turnover because he tried to give a little pocket pass to Vesar.
Yeah.
I thought about you when I saw that. I'm like, I've seen him take 2 shots, and that was elbows. That was the Luke Walton elbow against the 2-3, Kelvin, where both Vesar and Carter were coming up to that elbow extended spot, which is how you beat the 2-3. And one time Carter pivoted, let it fly. This other time Carter
he put on the ground, and I thought, bad, but then he pulled up.
But the one where Carter got the ball on the baseline, nobody's within 5 feet of him, and he gave one dribble, thought the defense was going to come to him, but they collapsed on the pass. It was just the easy takeaway. But that was a perfect example, DK. That's a shot right there. That there that's a layup for him.
Yeah, being too unselfish, and also that's a system turnover for a freshman, right? Because the system says make the extra pass, and sometimes you try to overdo it, right? Because you're really trying your best to make sure you satisfy what the coach wants as well. You don't want to feel like, I got 3 shots in a row. That I cannot do that. I got to make a pass. So, but with that, though, with the experience, and I'm sure coach going to coach him up right there, say, no, Carter, take that shot.
Yeah, it's 3D chess, because here's how it works, okay? I've always thought the biggest issue for high school players coming to this level is shot selection. It's always going to be an adjustment because it's faster, stronger. Players are much more athletic. So those windows tighten up so much. So freshmen in general, even if they're great freshmen coming in, figuring out what's a good shot, what's a bad shot, and within this offense, trying to get everybody involved, that right there was a shot. You know why? Because if he makes that shot, the next time he flashes baseline, that big's coming with him.
Yes.
And that's going to open up the paint. So he has to make that shot to keep the defense honest. He was just being unselfish, trying to get a layup instead of a 10-foot jump shot. But a wide open 10-foot baseline jump shot, Kelvin, for a guy with that stroke,
layup.
You got to take that shot.
We call that a layup. when it's a shot that you can make, that's a layup. So you got to take that. The veterans on the team got to tell him. The coaches got to reinforce that to him. He's one of the better shooters. I told you guys earlier when I was naming the best shooters, I said Del Orso, confidence-wise for sure, Love, and Carter Bryant. So when he get a chance to catch and shoot, I've been agreeing with DK. I've been saying, I understand why he makes that extra pass when he's at the free throw line because, again, you're trying to satisfy the coaches. But at this point in the year right now, I don't think he's a freshman anymore. You're a sophomore now. With the minutes that he's gained, that he's had more minutes than most guys get their whole freshman year, right? And he's had a couple starts, okay? So now it's time to take that next step and recognize that you are a valuable weapon offensively on this team because you're one of our best catch-and-shoot guys.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. So we'll hand out our Window Depot Glass Cleaner of the Game, and that's going to go to Toby Awaka for his career-high 15 rebounds in the game, 15 rebounds in 20 minutes. Toby Awaka, your Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. Window Depot, lowest prices, biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com. 78-63, Arizona knocks off Colorado. We'll have much more straight ahead. Our keys to the game, our best bets, scoreboard, and more. We want to hear from you as well on what you thought. Don't forget, we got another game coming up. All right, get your lunch in, or early dinner, or your happy hour, or whatever you want to call it, and get right back to McKale for the 6:30 tip-off, because the ladies are going to need you as much as the men did this afternoon as they take on number 16 West Virginia coming up at 6:30. You can hear that game over on our sister station, AM 1400 KTUC, with coverage and Derek Palmer beginning at 5:45. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 five-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE Eagle.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Donna Ogden Nation.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Happy New Year and welcome to 2025. It's a new year, but we still have air conditioning and heating systems at last year's prices. We have high-efficient inverter systems for as low as $89 a month. For year-round comfort, call Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or picturerockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Looking for unlimited gameplay all season long? Dave & Buster's is introducing the all-new Winter Season Pass. You can pick your perfect pass and play like a Dave & Buster's VIP with unlimited access to over 140 games and deals on sips and bites. Sign up now and take advantage of this incredible deal now through February 28th. Don't forget to stop in Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch specials and grab the all-new Winter Season Pass. There's nowhere better to eat, drink, play, and watch than Dave & Buster's, the best place outside the stadium to see the games this football season.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
The Window Depot is more than a window store. The Window Depot is a one-stop warehouse with everything you need for your complete home remodel. Shop the aisles of pre-built cabinets in a variety of colors, granite and quartz countertops, sinks, skylights, and hardware to complete your project. Need a custom order? We can help. Our designers offer free design services and can special order everything you need for your kitchen or bathroom remodel today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Del Orso a three. This one high off the rim, no good. Rebound. Awaka takes it away for the Wildcats. Another possession. Cross court over to Love. Love drives left. Jumper is up. Over the rim, no good. Awaka again to answer.
Just undeterred. Awaka in double figures now on the rebounding side.
That was the Toby Awaka. That was after he had gotten the defensive rebound at the other end and then went down and got 2 offensive rebounds to finish off with a second chance opportunity. He had 2 offensive rebounds, of which he scored on both of those to finish with 8 points, 4 of 6 shooting in the game, 8 points, 15 rebounds for Toby Awaka as the Wildcats win it 78-63.
Dennis Rodman, guys. I mean, like, that was it. Like, you're just talking about, hey, the game's a minute and a half in, and you look up, and a dude's got 5 rebounds somehow a minute and a half into the game, like 3 rebounds on 2 possessions. That's not a common occurrence anymore these days, Kelvin. I mean, guys who are just so dominant, and clearly he had, 20, 25 pounds. You know, he was able to push some guys around down there, but just, I mean, 15 in 20 minutes is outrageous.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Let's go back to the phones and hear from our guy Doug in Tucson. You're on Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, the post-game show.
Hey, fellas. Thanks for having me back. Yeah, a lot of fun today. I got a last-second ticket to the game, so had a lot of fun there. I kind of expected a close game from Colorado. I just don't think Tad Boyle ever is scared to play us. You know, he knows Tommy's system inside and out. You've got Yakimovsky, who beat us down here last year. So I was expecting them to give us a battle, and they did. And so credit to our guys for, finding a way to put a little air between us in that second half. The one thing I just wanted to point out that I really like from us is the quick decision-making, especially like catch and drive. And you see it a lot from Bradley. You also see it from Love and from KJ Lewis a bit. But the point is, like, when the defense wants to bring that double team out on the perimeter, I just love when like, the guy catches it and he's immediately driving to the rim. And even if he's not going for the layup, he's looking for his teammates. I just think that that's a really good way to break down the defense and not just keep passing it around the perimeter and letting yourself get smothered by the defense. What do you guys see with that?
Well, I agree. I totally agree with you. The guys are attacking under control, not getting too deep. Too deep meaning too close to the basket where all the hands and the referee will allow guys to stick hands in there and grab. We've been watching the Big 12. That's just the way the play is going to be. So you can't get too deep, but you want to draw the defense and pull them in so you can pass it to a teammate so they can play off of closeouts. And if you get the guys to close out a couple times on that next pass, you're probably going to get the shot that you want to get. Defenses usually work hard once or twice, but once you move that ball a couple times, you're usually able to get the shot that you want. So they're starting to trust each other. That's the word. They're starting to trust each other a little more.
I mean, come on, Doug. Like, we watched a lot of years of 3-man weave at the top where they would move the defense side to side and wouldn't do anything with it. So if you're going to move the defense, especially against the zone, and you're going to try to get that defense to shift to one side, if you're just lollygagging with the ball out there, the defense shifts back. There's no weakness within that set the way that the defenders are, within that zone. the first maybe 5-6 games of the year, preseason, the guards were attacking like crazy. First 5 or 6 games of the year, and maybe those Atlantis games, you didn't see that quick decision making. But these last in this 8 out of 9, is it now? 7 out of 8 wins.
9 out of 10.
Yeah, those guards, they're doing exactly that. You swing the ball to one side, the defense moves, and then you make a quick probing drive. And a lot of times that's where you get the cross-court pass back to the original side where the ball came from, because the defense has shifted so far back the other way that you've got an open player over there with a clean look. So,
or you've got KJ or Carter slashing down the baseline.
The cutting lately has been impeccable. Yeah, they're really cutting off ball really well. But yeah, you made a great point. You always have to make the defense pay by moving them around and getting them out of position. They're trying to take away your strengths. You're trying to put them on their back heel, and the way to do that when the strength of the team is not shooting, those guards can get 2 feet in the paint. I mean, you said it. KJ, JB, and Caleb, all great at attacking the closeouts.
Yeah, and to me, it's just all at that initial moment where you catch that pass, and you don't sit there and think about it for even a half second. You catch it and you go, and you have a plan.
Well,
even if you don't know where that ball is going to wind up, but you get yourself inside the arc. And
if the defender's in proper position, he's seeing ball man. So as the pass is in the air, the defender is recovering out to the player he's guarding who's about to catch the ball. So their momentum is always, the defender's momentum is always going to be coming at the offensive player, using that against them by going to whatever side they're coming from. Their balance is going to be on one foot or the other. You attack the other side, and you can get by them.
Yeah. So I'm just making a short call today, but I just wanted to really point out that I like seeing that from us. I think that's going to be a good strength breaking down defenses.
Outstanding, Doug. Always appreciate hearing from you.
Good luck tonight, buddy.
Tear down.
All right. Doug in Tucson. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We talked about a couple of things that I've been wanting to see, and then obviously we mentioned one earlier, and that was Carter Bryant shooting from the elbow. We saw him make a couple of those. I also saw that aggressive early move inside by Trey Townsend that I've been wanting to see him do more of. And I spoke before the Oklahoma State game. I'd like to see him taking more shots, maybe close to 10. It was 8 in the last game. He made 7. He took 7 today, made 4. Didn't get into double figures, but still I thought, again, was aggressive when he had those opportunities to try to get inside and get himself. He was just one of those guys, I think, early that had missed a couple shots around the rim in that first half when the Wildcats just couldn't get a lot of those easy bunnies to go in early in the contest, but still like him being aggressive to try to get those shots, and that was one of the first things I saw. I got there right at the 16-minute mark. A lot of traffic trying to get in there today, but that was one of the first things I saw was Trey get the ball inside, make a strong move to the basket, and get himself 2 points. That strong move was
a right shoulder into a chest and a half hook, Kelvin, right over the top of the shot blocker. Right shoulder from, the fifth year. What's he? What is Trey? Like 240?
Yeah.
Kelvin, that's a big man out there. So yeah, he used his leverage, got his shoulder right into it. That was a great first move, DK, because as we've talked about, the post presence that was meant to be Mount Crevis all year long, Tobe Awaka is a little bit raw in the offensive game as far as his moves around the block are concerned, but that's Townsend's game. And if you don't have a 7-foot shot blocker that you're trying to back down or whatever, I like Trey Townsend early in the game. Real quick, though, do you want to hear that mid-range jumper that you asked for?
Let's hear it.
Caleb Love directing traffic. Throws it to Bryant, left elbow, open jumper is up and good for Carter.
His mid-range jumper, so pure, coming along while shooting over 61% in conference games.
So pure.
Ryan Hansen. Got a nice high release, kind of Jalen Rose. Yeah. Like, remember Jalen Rose's release, how his elbows would always be a little bit higher than that shooting pocket that you teach? He's got a higher release, and because he's got long arms, how do you get out and even challenge that shot? If you're not a high flyer or a long-armed, Wemby type player, Kelvin, when he catches that 15 and then pivots and looks at the basket with intent to shoot, that's a weapon right there.
And it didn't turn into the foul fest we maybe thought that it was going to be. It was a fairly clean game on both sides.
They weren't calling much.
I was going to say,
that Townsend banging that was in the first couple minutes of the game that play happened, and that really set the tone. That you could tell the refs were going to let him play.
And I'm happy for Arizona that they went through a game like that, because you got Iowa State coming, and you got to be able to play through that, right? You got to be able to play through the contact, play through the grabs. This is another top team in your conference that's, picked to win the thing. So they're going to have, the referees, I ain't going to say they're going to be on their side, but they understand who they are. So I just feel like that our guys having to play a game like this where you didn't get to win the game from the free throw line, it's also an advantage for our guys because they understand you have to just figure out a way to get it done.
I really hope that crew lets them go because, Iowa State, not to jump ahead of ourselves, but that's one of the best thieving teams in the country. They're trying to take the ball from you on a lot of different possessions, guys. There's a lot of guys who are doing it. And two really, really, really good, strong rebounding teams and two teams that are trying to score in the paint. So hopefully those refs that do get assigned to that game on Monday were similar to the ones today, because I would love to see that game without too much chippy early foul trouble for either team. I'd like to see both teams at full strength Monday night.
All right, let's hear a little bit from Tad Boyle in the media room after the 78-63 Arizona Wildcats win over the Colorado Buffaloes.
Go ahead. Colorado head coach Ted Boyle. Coach, will you please start with an opening statement and we'll open it up to a few questions.
Yeah, look, I'm as crazy as it sounds being 0-8. I'm proud of our guys for not losing their fight and what it's going to take to win a game in this league, and eventually I think we will. But I thought our game plan was good coming in here. Coach Roan did a great job. Obviously, we're not a zone team. But we felt like, that was the one thing we could do maybe to try to keep the crowd out of this. This is my 13th time in this building. I haven't won yet. And I know the crowd's a big part of it because when they get going, they thrive on that energy. And but I thought Tobey Owaka was the difference in the game. I mean, the way he rebounded the ball. We knew Arizona coming in this game is a really good offensive rebounding team. They're averaging 12.6 a game. They got 13 tonight. That was a key for us to win the game. We didn't do that. Another key was to take threes away from their shooters, even in the zone. A lot of people think you play zone because the team can't shoot. It's to take away threes from Caleb Love and from Diorso because those are the dudes that shoot it, and they made 8 of their 9, and we didn't. So we didn't do that. And then we didn't take care of the ball, which it's been a problem for the Buffs all year long because we went 11 or fewer turnovers, especially in a building like this. If you turn it over, they are so elite in transition that they're gonna score, and then they're gonna get the crowd in the game, and that's what happened in the second half.
What do you feel like was the difference in your defense from one half to the next? You held them to a pretty reasonable percentage in the first, but they shot pretty well second.
Yeah, the second half, I thought our impatience on offense created the defense. And our turnovers, our live ball turnovers, coming out of, whether it's coming out of a timeout, calling a set play, again, you cannot turn the ball over. So part of our defense, when they're laying it in transition, it's usually as a result of a bad shot, which we took some, okay, or a live ball turnover. And there's no defense for that. So, again, I don't know when our defense was set in the second half. I don't know what their percentage was, but it probably doesn't – it's not as bad as maybe what the numbers look like, on the stat sheet. So, yeah, that's where we got to watch the film and figure that out. But again, taking threes away from their shooters, it starts with that. And Diorso's 6 for 9. He's not supposed to get any up. He's supposed to be run off the line and make him a driver. And so it's just we're not doing what we need to do in the game plan to win a game. And we won't win a game until we start doing what's in the game plan. Now, I thought for most of the game, they're in a stretch in the second half, about a 10-minute stretch. Offensively, we did what the game plan was, which was to make them guard us, use the shot clock. We're always wanting layups, but you can't turn that thing over, and you better not shoot quick against these guys. If you're going to shoot quick, you better make it. And we shot quick a few times, didn't make it, and that turns into a layup for them.
Yeah, but it's really the turnovers, like he said, that are the killer. And I'll go back to when, again, it was 40-40, and they had a break to go up 42-40, and they turned it over. Next time down, they missed a jumper. Next time down, they turned it over again. And the Wildcats quickly were up 5, and really it never was close again after that for Colorado. 78-63, the final. Arizona knocks off the Buffaloes. Again, as you heard Tad Boyle say, he has never won in McKale Center. They've never won. They have won here in Tucson, but that one win came back in the Bear Down gym days, back in the 1960s. They have not won at McKale Center now. I believe it's 0-14, maybe 0-15 at McKale Center if you go back to the early 70s. And they didn't get the win today. And now the Wildcats will await Iowa State on Monday night. All right, we'll get into our best bets when we come back. Also, keys to the game. We want to hear from you. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us. You can text us. We are streaming this show on Facebook Live. We're streaming it on YouTube. We are streaming it on Twitch. Also, that's the video side of it. Audio side, Wildcats Radio 1290. Our app, Wildcats Radio 1290. Download the app. Any of your mobile devices or your speaker devices, whether that's Alexa, Google Play, any of those things you have in your house that you can speak into and get music or sound out of, we are on those too. So keep us tuned in for everything that is Arizona basketball. Much more straight ahead. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Our Window Depot postgame coverage of Arizona basketball is just getting started. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The postgame show is brought to you by Dave & Buster's Tucson, Desert Diamond Casinos, Dorado Rock, First Chiropractic, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Poston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, the Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rockin' K. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Donna Ogden Nation.
The Window Depot has everything you need to create the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. Browse the aisles of in-stock cabinets available in a variety of sizes and configurations and instantly elevate your space today. Visit a showroom and let our experts guide you. Whether you're choosing from ready-to-go designs or creating a custom masterpiece, we can help you select the perfect wood type, color, and style. And top it off with unique hardware to complete your look. Find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot. More than a window store.
The cold Arizona nights are here. Is your furnace ready? For just $59, Right Way is offering a complete system tune-up, ensuring your furnace runs efficiently to keep your home comfortable all season long. Routine maintenance is key to avoiding costly breakdowns. And with over 9,000 five-star Google reviews, you can trust Right Way to get the job done right. Plus, we'll include a free carbon monoxide test for your peace of mind. Call Right Way today at 520-640-2665 or visit us at rightwayac.com for your $59 complete system tune-up.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 five-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden. It's time to look at some of today's best bets. Brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right. Arizona came into this game as a 15.5 point favorite, and they win by 15. I was driving down back from McKale Center listening to this, and I think it was somebody hit a 3, and it was 17. And then Colorado went down, and I think Ruffin hit a 3, and it was 14. And then Caleb, I think, got a basket, and it was 15 after a free throw or something. I'm thinking, man, this game is right on the line. And then I think Colorado got another 3 late.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't see those threes, DK, because the first one, he just chucked it up. He couldn't even see the rim. And the second one was a bank from 45 degrees.
Oh, jeez.
So both of those last second threes by Colorado that put that margin at 15 were prayer-type threes.
So everybody, well, you were the only one that took the points. Colorado,
yeah, I thought 14.
Plus the 15.5. You said it would be right under that.
I thought 13, 14. Well, not quite 16, 17. So, yeah, somewhere.
So J-Dub is the only one with a winning ticket there, as Kelvin and I took U of A and gave the 15.5 points. So we lose by a half point. Everybody took the over on this game, and obviously it was clear very early on that it probably wasn't going to get there today just because of all the missed shots in the first half on both sides. So that's 6 losing tickets in a row for me. I was plus 8 at one point. Now I'm down to plus 2.
I should have known that was going to come out in the 2-3, man. You know, like I said, I'm used to him running man, so I thought it'd be a little bit more open. I definitely thought U of A would have been in the upper 90s in this game. And they would have been if Caleb and Jaden would have played just a little bit better. But, again, to be able to win and those guys not put up big numbers, you know, you got to take it.
For people who don't know, I mean, that's like Sean Miller running a 2-3 for 40 minutes. I'm not talking about possession, Kelvin. We're talking about, like, this is a man-to-man coach who coaches man-to-man. That's what he's known for. I don't think anybody expected 40 minutes of 2-3.
Not at all. All right, so J-Dub is -2. Kelvin is -6. DK +2, hanging on to a slim lead. We'll see what happens Monday night. And those are today's best bets, brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. What are your top takeaways from today's game? Our guy, Fred Scheib, checks in from Jersey. He has an interesting question. How do you think Iowa State is going to defense Anthony Del Orso after this game? Will they charge him hard and see if he drives by, may defend on a backup to help if he drives? Will they double him? Will they maybe I don't know if he says will they box and one him? I don't know if he's at that point where teams are going to box and one Anthony Del Orso.
Well, I mean, how many buckets has Mr. Del Orso made off the dribble this year, Kelvin? He had a real pretty reverse today, by the way, like a really pretty reverse.
Occasionally,
going baseline.
Occasionally he'll do that.
My point being, like, he's not necessarily a guy you think of who's going to go by his man off dribble, pull up for a 15-footer. I'm not saying he's not capable of doing it. I'm just saying that's the candidate that you box and one. It's the guy who can beat you off Steph Curry's the guy that you box and one, right? Who can score off dribble from any spot on the court. I don't think that they would take anything close to that kind of extreme. The issue is that Del Orso knocked down 6 threes catch and shoot today, right? I mean, he was the guy who was open that 2-3. They were swinging around. You know, Coach Boyle said, we had our 2 shooters out there, Love and Del Orso. We weren't going to let shoot. Yeah. Well, they found a way to find open space, Kelvin. And Del Orso's catch and shoot lately has been laser quick. Like, he lets the ball go almost as quick as it's in his hands. There's really not much you can do defensively against that except for not let him catch the ball, right? So, face guarding or whatever else. I don't think, though, personally, that the Iowa State coaching staff is worried at all about him going crazy on them on Monday outside of whatever the rest of the players are doing on the court. There's no singular issue here.
No, because they lock up, and that means that they play real defense. So all he did was told some of those guys to lock in on him, and they're gonna be right there on him and force him to put the ball on the floor. But like as you guys said, the quick shot that he has is still gonna open up other guys. As I said, the gravity is gonna pull guys out, and it's gonna open some of those open the lanes up for other guys to get going. But good teams like Iowa State, DK, the number one thing that they try to do to you is take away the others.
In my entire high school career, I think I probably made 14 threes. But there was one game, guys, in Benson. It was in a tournament, and I think I made 4. And the next game out, I was like 0 for 4. And one of the dudes comes up to me at a free throw line. He's like, man, we had you on the scout. We thought that we had to, like, double team you because we thought you were going to launch all these threes. Apparently, like, this is way before, like, you could look up film on YouTube or whatever. So, that's his career high, right? 6 made threes. And he was a 20-point scorer at Campbell. Everybody knows that Del Orso can put the ball in the basket. But like Kelvin said, I mean, that's a prideful Iowa State, man-on-man, tough, gritty, one of the best defensive teams in the country. So you would imagine them just to come straight up and adjust throughout the game as necessary if one guy gets hot or another. But I don't think they're coming in here with any kind of garbage defense. They're just going to, say, hey, this is what we do, try and score on us.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Just perusing Mr. Del Orso's numbers. Yeah, I don't think he's had more than 4 in a single game. He had 4 a couple times last year, but yeah, 6. He had 5 obviously earlier this year in the game against Davidson, and the 6 would be definitely a career high for him in today's win over Colorado. 78-63. Let's hear from Ray. You're on Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Gameday after a 78-63 Wildcats win over Colorado.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys having me on. Just a few questions, and I'll hang up.
Go for it, Ray.
So I missed the game. I had a 3-on-3 tournament. My daughter went. But how did Love do? What percentage did he shoot?
He did not shoot well. He was 3 for 14. He was 2 for 8 from 3 and just 1 for 6 from 2 in this ball game. But he did have 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals and turned it over just once.
Okay. And then how do you guys think they're going to do against the better team, Iowa, on Monday night? You think they have a decent chance or just going to be another struggle,
I'll be honest.
What do you guys think?
I'll be honest with you. I've not watched Iowa State this season. I mean, I've just heard how good they are. I think anytime you're playing at home against a team like that, you've got a shot. But again, Mark Johnson, who we had on, the broadcaster from Colorado, said they are a Final Four team. If you ask me right now, do I think Arizona's a Final Four team? The answer to that would be no. So it's going to be tough to try to beat them, even in your own building. Because, again, we've seen they got down today, and they didn't sweat it up in Tempe. And they've gotten down in some of these games on the road, and they seem to always find a way to come back and win.
The scary thing about the Cyclones, guys, is that this is not just a one-dimensional squad. That team leads the Big 12 in scoring at 85 points a game. Arizona's second at 83 points a game. They also give up 66 on the other end, guys. So this is a team that locks you up and can put up big points. So, I mean, to answer your question, Ray, as far as the chance, I like Arizona's chance in McKale Center against any single team that comes into Tucson every single time. And the way that Arizona's playing, you got to think it's strength on strength. I mean, Arizona likes to gets points up. If Iowa State can control defensive glass, prevent Arizona from getting out and running, Arizona's going to have to find ways like they did tonight to score in the half court. And that'll come down to how many points, Kelvin, can the Arizona Wildcats get against that Cyclones half court defense, and how well they take care of the ball, because the Cyclones are going to try to take it away.
I'd like.
Yeah. So you had to name the top two things Arizona has to do, must do, to beat Iowa. What would it be? Does it lie with love, or is it like the Rosso shooting like he did, or what? Top two.
Well, if I just looking at what they did today, they went to the line 30 times. So I think you're going to want to try to keep them from doing that. It looks like they maybe got a grab. They held Arizona State to 21 points in the second half after Arizona State scored 40 and had a 7-point lead at the break. So they clearly ratcheted up their defense, and they got to the line 12 more times than ASU. So that's one thing it looks like they do very well is they get in the paint, they get fouls, and they score from the line.
Okay, guys. I appreciate you guys. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Appreciate that. They won the battle of the boards today, 30-25. Both teams made 8 threes. They only made one more field goal. So, I mean, again, they had 13 more points in the line, and they won by 15.
The scariest thing to me, guys, about a team like Iowa State is simply that you can't try to take anything away singularly and be successful. And that's because they have 5 guys averaging double figures. One guy I think is out right now, but the 6 guys at 9.5, right? So they got 6 guys at 9.5, averaging 9.5 points or more. If you're coming up against one dude at 25, Kelvin, that's the box and one. That's when you try to bring out some kind of triangle and 2 garbage defense. But when you have a team like Arizona and like Iowa State that's very balanced offensively, I mean, nothing to be said about what Iowa State Kelvin's going to try to do to Arizona from the defensive perspective, but their offense, they're the number 1 field goal percentage shooting team in the conference. So you really have to start with how Arizona's been defending teams lately, and I like the way Arizona's defending. I like their chances of locking those guys up, but it's not one guy. It's not 2 guys. It's a whole bunch of waves of guys coming at you. Unselfish team. They're averaging 16 assists themselves per game. So, again, it's just a very multifaceted team that's coming in Monday.
I was thinking to myself, I love their also shooting, but I almost want to start KJ in this game because it's going to be physical right from the start. You don't have you can't let them get a lead on you because, once they do that, the suffocating defense they have is kind of hard to come back from. I think Arizona is going to be ready because these are the type of games we always talk about. What games the guys get excited for. Colorado, not so much. Iowa State, everybody knows it's a big Monday game. I expect our guys to bring, that energy to put them in a position to win this type of game. But, again, Iowa's just so tough on both sides of the ball, and our guys going to have to bring their A game to be able to take care of business.
It looks like they're pretty good. I mean, they held Arizona State. Arizona State missed 7 of their final 8 shots down the stretch. So they got defensive in the end, and we've seen Arizona have trouble scoring in some of these games at the end. So that's something, just looking at how that game went down today, that might not bode well for the Wildcats if you get into a game and Iowa State can shut you down the stretch. Can you score? Can you score in the final 7 minutes to be able to close out a game against a team like Iowa State? That's going to be something that you got to look at Monday night.
I always will worry, and it has nothing to do with Coach Lloyd's offense. Any offense that doesn't finish the game with set plays, I always worry about it. That's not saying that it's gonna work. I mean, but when you kind of play it out, I bet you watch Iowa State. I bet they running sets and getting the ball, where they want it to specific spots. So, I worry about any team. It's like the teams that play the spread offense in football, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they get to the goal line, they're not scoring more than likely. They rather get stopped outside the red zone and score from there than to be anywhere 2 or 3 yards on the ball.
How about with a 10-point lead with 8 minutes to go and the ball on their own 20? Right, and that's that whole thing where it's like you're sped up, and then you got to switch your whole style and play a completely different style to milk the clock or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to talk quite a lot about it Monday. I think this is why Arizona is excited about being in this conference, Kelvin, because Houston, Iowa State, Kansas, these are the teams, the physicality, the front lines, just the way they play, the intense defensive intensity. I mean, that's what Arizona signed up for. And that's what this game's going to be. This is going to be, they've seen UCLA. They obviously saw Duke. That's a physical team as well. But what they're going to see Monday, Kelvin, I think is probably, and West Virginia, that's a good physical squad as well. Texas Tech. This is a different level, level of physicality, a different level of purposefulness. It's just they're going to have to bring their A games to the Cats on Monday against the Cyclones for sure.
All right, 78-63, the final. We'll review our keys to the game. We'll hear from the players as well coming up. I believe Anthony Delorso was in the post-game media chat. We'll hear from him after he hit a career-high 6 3-point shots, finished with 20 points in the game. And the Wildcats 7-1 now in the Big 12. Much more straight ahead. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. Want to hear from you as well. 520-848-1290. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Make the right choice for your home when it comes to windows and doors. For more than 20 years, the Window Depot has provided the best price and biggest inventory on in-stock windows and doors. The Window Depot is open to the public, so whether you're a homeowner or a contractor, you can shop the enormous warehouse. Browse the shelves with over 1,000 vinyl windows, interior and patio doors, and skylights in several varieties and sizes available to go home today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot. Best price, biggest inventory.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
Go Wildcats! As a new season starts, the Tucson Police Department bears down with the Tucson community. We are looking to build our team, and we need you. Interested in joining our starting lineup? Visit jointucsonpd.org. Join our team and score a great career. From our commissioned officers to our professional staff, Tucson Police Department proudly stands behind the Arizona Wildcats. Bear down and apply today at jointucsonpd.org.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Hi, this is Peter Costa, former governor of the New York Stock Exchange and proud member of the Advisory Business Council with Meridian Wealth Management. One thing I've learned over 40 years on the floor is the value of a trusting relationship with your financial advisor. After all, everyone is a genius when the markets are going up, but when they drop, that's when the guidance of a professional is most important. For more information about Meridian, call 719-1433 or visit online at meridianwealthllc.com.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain, Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Bradley drives to the right corner, out to Del Orso. Another three is good.
Small
That's
lineup.
6 threes for Del Orso, a new career high.
Small lineup for Arizona. 4 guards and Tobey. That's a shooting lineup, especially with Delhi.
6 of 9 for Anthony Del Orso from 3 today. And the Wildcats knock off the Colorado Buffaloes 78-63. Arizona has now won 9 of 10 games with Anthony Del Orso in the starting lineup. 9-1. That lone loss obviously coming to Texas Tech on the last road trip, but things have gotten good with Anthony Del Orso in the lineup, as early on Tommy Lloyd was tinkering with that lineup, trying to figure out what worked, and so far this has maybe been the change that's worked for Arizona.
You know what's funny, Kelvin, is I kind of look at it as
I remember last year when they made a change with Pella and just little tweaks of really just putting guys in better positions to feel comfortable, when they're in the game. And I think it did a lot for Del Orso's confidence more than anything, coming off being a leading scorer at his old school and to come here, to play off the bench. It's the same with Awaka, same with Townsend. I mean, again, Awaka wasn't a starter, but you're coming to a new school and you kind of make him comfortable, giving him that starting nod, right? And I felt like Del Orso has just, he's flourished in that, because if he's playing well, you keep him in and you give him more minutes. And if he's not, you just go to KJ.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's another part of that equation, guys, and that's KJ's energy off the bench. You talk about 10 games, 9-1 in 10 games. One of the big issues during that stretch in Atlantis, especially technicals aside, was, how are you going to get that not scoring punch, guys, but just that glue? And there's no better glue guy on this team, Kelvin, than KJ. I mean, he can just do everything out there. Shot's not looking so great. Did you see that one that hit the backboard? DK? Yeah, I mean, he had an open 3, no rim, Kelvin, just off the backboard. That's he's got to clean that up. But other than that, I mean, KJ Lewis coming off the bench for me. Delhi being more confident in a starting role and how he starts games off as opposed to coming off the bench cold, that's a Delhi thing. But KJ, as far as his role, coming off the bench and just instant energy, instant great defense and hustle, that's another big part of this equation is KJ's bench role and how he's just, I mean, man, those 3 guys off the bench have been playing great lately.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. 520-848-1290 with the 6 3-point shots made in this ball game. He is now shooting 48% from 3. In terms of the record book at Arizona, it goes off just a minimum of 20 3-pointers, and obviously he's taken 73 now. So at the moment, he's having the best three-point field goal percentage shooting season. I'm sorry, wait. I'm looking at freshman here. That's the freshman.
I know Kerr was like 56.
Let me look here. Okay, I got to get to the right.
I heard Rhino say, DK, while you're looking that up, that he is now shooting 50% in conference play. So on the season, 47-48, but over 50% in conference from deep.
We'll have to look at that because I'm not getting career here in the record books that I'm looking at. So we'll check further into that after we hear from Anthony Del Orso and Toby Awaka and KJ Lewis after the win 78-63 over Colorado.
Anthony, is this a kind of game that you think you can have like every time, or was this more a product of what you guys needed to do on offense?
I mean, obviously I think this can be something that's pretty normal. I mean, where I came from, I averaged 20+ points the whole year, so it's not new stuff to me. But like they were sitting in a zone, that probably plays more into my specialty a little bit, just from outside, and my teammates found me in the right spots, and tonight I was able to knock them down.
You had a couple of them where you kind of ran off the side and hit the corner one. How important are those ones to be able to that they can't really set up?
Yeah, I mean that movement kind of gets them lost. They don't really know. Obviously, their scout is like who's a shooter, who's not, and they kind of stick into us. So when I kind of run the baseline or Caleb runs the baseline and we kind of keep them moving, they don't really know where we're at. So kind of frees us up a little bit, gives us an open look every once in a while, and then once we see one go in, it's like we get more confidence as the game goes on.
Is it a case of being more comfortable, confident with you, from you?
I mean, confidence is always a thing in every player. Whether I made them or missed them, I'm still going to shoot them and do the same movements because that's what the team needs. Like, I'm there to shoot and try and get points on the board. So either way, I got to do that, whether it's going in or not.
So, Deli, you say plays your strength. Did you have any inkling coming in that they were going to throw that much zone, and that it would be kind of a chance for you to do that, and then that you would be able to do that?
Yeah, we knew that we were going to zone a little bit. We didn't expect it, obviously, for the full 40, but we had definitely planned for it, and we had run our sets and kind of some new things that we could, use against them for that. But yeah, the 40 minutes is a bit of a shock, but either way, we figured it out and we were able to kill them on it.
KJ, if Anthony and Toby and Trey have the game they did today more consistently or whatever, how good could you guys be?
I mean, really good. I mean, I think today was just a little sample size of, the potential we're still trying to reach as a team. And, we're continuing to just stack days, take every game, one game at a time. Take preparation one day at a time, and we're continuing to get better. I mean, it's time to really tighten things up. It's January, going to be February, and obviously we want to be better going into March.
Toby, what was the key for you, kind of, especially with that zone? You doing what you did on the glass tonight?
Just finding the body, doing my work early, anticipating the shot before it went up, and then just having the wherewithal to go and get the ball.
How frustrating was Tuesday night for you?
I mean, it was tough. It's part of the game. At the end of the day, we won, so I'm not really too concerned about it. So, yeah.
You're so good at rebounding. Sometimes the other team will try to get you into foul trouble, and referees, officials, they're human beings. They're not going to call everything the same way. How do you deal with those challenges and inconsistencies?
Just got to play through it, really. Once you start to kind of get on a roll, crashing the boards and things of that nature, the other team's going to throw some tactics at you. Maybe get me into an ISO situation, drive the ball at me, start throwing the ball in the post, see if they can draw a foul. So just being cognizant of those things, playing smart, and just keeping your mind in the game.
You guys attacking the zone has been a little bit of a difficulty. You guys look like you guys kind of started off a little passive at the beginning. How did you guys adjust, and what was your mentality in terms of attacking a little bit more?
We knew after Deli hit a few, they were gonna, be a little bit more, sticky to him and Caleb after they knocked down a few. So the gaps were a little bit wider. Toby and Trey were doing a really good job, sealing and, making a way for, me and JB, but also for themselves to, get inside points. I think in the second half, it was just kind of simple, connecting the passes and not really overthinking it. And, we knew if we got in the paint, it was going to be, whatever we wanted from that point.
What do you guys think about just this game, and then you have an opportunity on Monday to, third-ranked team coming in here, and just how things are looking for you all?
I mean, this game was definitely huge. Preparing for Colorado, we didn't expect them to, do certain things that they did. So we adjusted on the fly, which was good for us. And, it's a short prep. So this is also, another preparation, what it's going to look like in March. And we got a really, really, really good team coming in on Monday, a top 5 team. And it's going to be a really, a good challenge for us and, to see where we're at.
You guys feel like, I don't know, have you seen anything in Iowa State or, how good they are, or what and how you might stack up as far as, competing in this conference? It seems like this could be the toughest league game anyway.
I mean, we've seen a little bit. We kind of know their kind of base, what they're trying to get, and how we can kind of play to our strengths against them. But then again, they got to worry about us just as much as we got to worry about them, and they're playing us at home. So we have the advantage as far as I see it, and it's our job to defend home court.
So when you're out there and you kind of get a feel for the game, is there ever a point like tonight? It was just like you were just so much bigger and stronger than everybody. Do you ever feel that in a game?
I mean, I think I kind of go into every game with the same mentality. Just try to dominate. Whether it be scoring the ball, rebounding, playing defense, whatever way I can. Some games go better than others. That's just kind of the flow of the season and how basketball, the sport works in general. So I try to go in every single day with the same mindset, respect my opponent no matter who I'm playing.
Thank you.
All right, that was Anthony Delorso, Toby Awaka, and KJ Lewis after the win today over Colorado, 78-63. So before we went into that, we were looking for the numbers in terms of 3-point field goal percentage season in Wildcats history. Now, these are from the media guide. So I said 47-9 right now is where Anthony Delorso is. So at the moment, he would be 6th all time if the season ended right now, behind Chris Mills at 48.3, Brendan Lavender at 48.7, and then 3 guys have shot over 50 in a season. Salim Stoudemire in 04-05 shot 50.4%. Derek Williams in 11 shot 56.8%, and then Steve Kerr still holds the record in 88. He shot 57.3% from 3. So right now, Anthony Delorso with the 6th best all-time percentage 3-point shooting season in Arizona history. And at one point, he was over 50% this year, but has since fallen down there as his playing time has increased. It'll be interesting to see maybe if he can creep closer to that as we keep going with this season. But he hit 6 of 9 tonight, and that's a career high, and the Wildcats get the win, 78-63. All right, we'll take another timeout. We'll come back. We'll do our keys to the game, get some final thoughts from Kelvin. Hopefully we'll hear from the head coach coming up a little bit later as well. Looks like they've had a few issues in terms of the post-game from McKale Center, but we'll hopefully get a chance to hear from Tommy Lloyd as well. Don't forget women's basketball coming up at 6:30. 6:30 coverage is probably about 6:15-ish over on 1400 KTUC. Derek Palmer will have the call as the ladies get set to take number 16. They take on number 16, West Virginia, at McKale Center to complete this basketball doubleheader today here in Tucson. Along with Kelvin Ifan and JW Madden, I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
With these scratchers, I'll win enough dough to enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally know how to fix your car right.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck on that, guys. But if you need a sure thing, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. No appointment necessary, call ahead's welcome, or just stop by any of the 14 area locations.
And check out our full page of promotions and discounts at jackfurriers.com.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Thinking about replacing your heating and air system? It's free furnace season at Right Way.
These are some of the slowest months of the year. We have equipment in stock and our crews are available.
And we're including an 80% furnace absolutely free with the purchase of an air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we're offering 60 months no interest financing, tax credits up to $2,600, energy efficiency rebates, and 10-year parts and labor warranty.
Call or text 520-200-2422 today or visit rightwayac.com.
All right, she's inside. Are you good?
Yeah. It's just, she's my baby girl, you know?
I do, and ceramic coating was a good choice.
She's beautiful.
Yep, I know.
Recon Auto Detailing. Enhance or restore your baby to her former glory with paint recondition, ceramic coating, paint protection, tinting, and more for full protection of your vehicle inside and out. New cars, old cars, we love them all. Recon Auto Detailing, 3829 North Oracle Road, Tucson. ReconDetail.com.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Thama Autumn Nation.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain, Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Grabbed by K.J. Lewis, Ketzel pushing down to our left, ahead to Basehart. Down the lane, up and under, and banks it home. First bucket of the ball game for Henry Vasar, and a pretty one at that.
Henry Vasar, 9 points in 20 minutes off the bench.
Did you see that one, Kelvin?
I didn't. I missed
that was
that one.
Very pretty is not a strong enough word to describe that. He took off from about 10 feet out, ball faked up, went up and under, and finger rolled with the left hand. Henry Vasar in full sprint coming. He was the trailing man, and the lane opened wide open. He went up and under the shot blocker took off from about 8 feet out. Super pretty play.
I'll see if we can. I can find the video of that. They put up some highlights on the Arizona Wildcats YouTube page, and I'll show Kelvin that. I do want to get back to this whole 3-point conversation because it's interesting just looking at this. You know, I love history and numbers and all that. Just looking at this top 10 again from the U of A media guide, there are 3 guys 3 guys from the 1988 team who are in the top 10. Now, interestingly enough, about this, again, like I said, you only had to take a minimum of 40 attempts. So, I mean, you got volume shooters like, obviously, Steve Kerr, who took 200 that year, who's at the top. But the other 2 guys that are on this list, you might be able to get one of them. I was surprised that Kelvin just threw out 2 names. Neither of those guys are the 2 guys that are the other 2 guys on this list. He said Judd Buechler. He's not on it. He also said Matt Muehlbach. He's not on it.
So it got to be Sean.
Care to take a guess from there, J-Dub?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, there was, if you're talking about 40 or under, there's a lot of guys on that team who could shoot. I would have to guess Sean Elliott probably shot around 40+% from the 3-point line.
Sean Elliott is one.
The other guy you probably wouldn't think of is probably Kenny Lofton because he didn't take a lot of threes, but he could stroke it from out there. And he got playing time.
That's a good guess.
Matt Muehlbach played, are you talking 87, 88 or 88, 89?
No, this is the 87, 88 team. There's 3 guys from the 87, 88 team. That was the first Final Four team, right?
Yeah, probably Craig would be my guess.
Craig McMillan.
Yeah.
Good guess, but incorrect. Ooh. Mr. Grammys. Harvey Mason. Hit 19 of 40.
Harvey Mason was the
for
47%. He was the 8th man on that team. I mean, Kenny would get in, Judd would get in. Harvey played. He wasn't like, let's clear the bench and get all these guys in who don't ever play. He wasn't that dude. But here's the thing, DK. You might marvel that 87, 88 team had a lot of good shooters from the outside. That's not what I'm seeing from those stats. That 87, 88 team had unquestionably the best one-on-one player Arizona basketball has ever had. You had to deal with what Sean Elliott could do to you. You couldn't, and not only that, but the other guys. I mean, Tolbert could finish around the rim. The forgotten guys, Anthony Cook was just about as good a lob target as you're ever going to find, super long. But you know what leads to open looks from 3 for maybe not great outside shooters. You mentioned Salim earlier, Damon, Steve. These are great outside shooters. Harvey Mason could knock a shot down. I wouldn't put him in the great shooter category. But when you're talking about playing with Sean Elliott, Kelvin, I mean, defenses came out of the locker room double teaming Sean Elliott.
And I think the other thing that you're not mentioning is the cohesion. Those guys
I've never seen a team more together than that team ever.
You know, those guys played together 4 years. Those guys always stuck around. It wasn't transferring and everything like that. These were guys that Coach Olsen handpicked. And so they have that togetherness that, a lot of teams that don't have. So I'm not surprised that many guys. The Gumbies.
Look out. Look out. G-Dub's got the gun.
I mean, even the bench players were involved every single game. I mean, that was about as connected a group as you're ever going to see in college basketball for sure.
All right. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. The name on here that just really, I guess if I'm saying, is there a name that shocks me overall? I don't know if it shocks me, but maybe a guy you probably wouldn't think would be on this list is the guy at number 2, Derek Williams.
Again, he took 2 a game.
Yeah.
40 is a kind of, in a season, Kelvin, 40 attempts in a season. In a 35-game season,
right? Yeah,
that's
so you're talking barely over 1 attempt per game. Is a rough
so should
cutoff.
That number be higher then?
Yeah,
should
it should be 100.
Should the minimum be higher than 40?
2 attempts a game? I think 2 attempts a game.
Yeah, because he only took 74.
And I don't know. That probably includes the NCAA tournament. If you remember that run, I think he went like 12 for 18 in the NCAA tournament that year as well. I mean, when he only shot shots. He didn't shoot shots, especially early in the season. Derek Williams. Within the flow of the offense, Kelvin, it was a lot more like late shot clock stuff, and they all went in. They all kept going in and in and in. And then later in the season, he started incorporating more like, because he was such a force off the dribble and in fast break. The 3-game wasn't his primary weapon, but yeah, I've never seen a guy who, again, would not consider to be a great outside shooter have as good a shooting season as Derek Williams did that year, for sure.
I like adjusted numbers. So if we adjust the numbers, 100 shots minimum,
that's what I would
then it becomes Steve Kerr, Salim, Brendan, Lavender would be your top 3 at that point. So there you go. Let's take a look at what we thought the Wildcats needed to do to win this game today against Colorado.
Wildcats fans, how did today's keys to the game turn out for the U of A? Keys are brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
The real gauge, DK, is how many threes did you make from the cactus logo? I mean, come on. That's how you gauge who the best shooters were in Arizona history.
Yeah, I saw some people that were on the Twitter earlier this week lobbying for a return of the cactus logo. I think there's people every year lobbying for the cactus logo to somehow find its way back onto the floor.
They brought
at
it back
McKale
in a lot
Center.
of merchandise. So you see it in a lot of hats and a lot of shirts around campus these days.
You know, I used to see Damon talking about the cactus logo. Damon Stoudemire used to shoot the heavy ball from there. The heavy ball, and then it was another thing called the big ball. So it's this big ball that barely goes in the rim.
2 inches on either side.
Swishing that thing.
We used to practice with those.
That's
a
when
lot.
I got to college. It was like, okay, it's another level. He's shooting with the heavy ball.
So this is like a workout type ball? So
it's about, what is it, about 15 pounds, maybe?
Okay.
Just heavier than the regular ball, so it builds up your strength. You know, with you shooting big man, use it around the basket, and guards use it with ball handling more than anything. I had never seen someone shoot threes, let alone deep threes with it. That's one thing what happened when you get in college, you steal things from guys. So once I seen them doing it, I started stealing it a little bit, and it just makes you accurate because your concentration has to be out of this world.
Yeah, Kelvin and I have had this conversation on air quite a few times, but the big ball to me, because if people listening don't know, 2 basketballs can fit inside of a rim. If you hold 2 basketballs next to each other, they can both fit inside of a standard rim. The bigger ball has about an inch or 2 give on either side. So if you're shooting from 10, 15, 20 feet out and you start feel good, Kelvin, with that ball that can barely fit through the rim, you get a standard ball in your hands and it just feels like, throwing a golf ball in the ocean. It's a nice feeling for sure.
All right, who went first today?
Kelvin, because he had to go coach.
That's right, because he had to go coach.
We have to pound the boards, really get after them on the rebound, allow only one shot. You don't want to let them get extra rebounds and get extra shot attempts from the three-point line. So pound the boards. Get the ball inside. The Townsend had a great game last time. Walker has been bullying people, and I think we got to get Vasar back going and back on schedule. So get the ball inside, force their defense to have to try to guard those guys, which will open up the perimeter. Play aggressive defense without fouling. I think that is going to get you ready for the Iowa State game. I'm not trying to look ahead, but you have to prepare because you have a top team coming in. And so when you have a team like Colorado, definitely you want to take care of business because these wins all count the same in the Big 12, but you do want to get ready for Iowa State at the same time with one day of preparation.
All right, so that's what we had from Kelvin before the ball game. Again, it was a pretty clean ball game, so aggressive defense worked, I think, for the Wildcats, especially in that second half when they kind of, got Colorado. I mean, we can talk about how Colorado turned the ball over, but again, a lot of times it's defenders that speed you up into those turnovers, and I think that's part of what we saw defensively from the Wildcats in that second half.
Yeah, only 8 free throws, so great defense without fouling. I don't know if that's the referees letting them play or the guys making a effort to make sure they not, get their hands stuck in there where a referee can end up, calling that play rebounding. Only a 6-point advantage.
And they were down at the half. I mean, I think Colorado had the rebounding advantage at halftime.
Yeah, but one thing they didn't do was give up a lot of offensive rebounds that ended up costing them some points for threes or whatnot. So you only won by 6 there, but you still got the job done.
Well, obviously, the biggest issue is there's multiple pitfalls that we're looking at for this game, DK. Number one, this Buffs team comes in 0-7 in conference. That's easy for some players to potentially overlook that, not as a very strong opponent. And number two, obviously, you got Iowa State, number 3 team in the country, coming in a couple of days. So my number one key revolves around those factors, DK. You have to play Colorado like they are the number 3 team in the country today. You cannot go into this game thinking they're 0-7. Iowa State's a much stronger opponent. Let's save some for them. You have to play this game. That's a desperate team. Never won a game in McKale. You have to play as if they were 7-0. Number two, less than 12 to 15 turnovers. You got to maintain that focus. Again, not a great defensive team the Buffs are bringing in here tonight. Just don't have any of those silly, unforced errors. maintain possession. Do not try to move the ball around. You get a turnover from passing, the passing game's fine, but just be strong with the ball more than anything. And number 3, again, defend them like they are a top offense, coming in shooting 46% from the field, 73 points a game. I'd like to see them held under 70 and under 40% today, DK. I think the defensive effort that this Arizona team brings in today will carry over into whatever's going on Monday. You got to keep that effort and energy up. The defense the last 8-10 games has been great for the Wildcats. You cannot take your foot off the gas versus this buff teams that comes limping into McKale. You have to treat them again like they're a top team in the country.
We talked about that number 70, and that's what the Wildcats held them underneath that 70 number. Arizona 10 turnovers, and again, we can sit here and nitpick the turnovers. There were some sloppy passes that I saw. And I would probably, if you go back and look at it, probably 3 or 4 of those 10 came off sloppy passes. So maybe you could have had 6 turnovers if you don't make those. I guess can you live? How many sloppy passes a game can we live with? I guess is what it comes down to.
Are they from Caleb, a 5th-year senior, or from a freshman who just got here? It just depends on the person, I think.
Yeah, I think I've maybe saw 1 or 2 from KJ. KJ seems to make a couple of them every game.
And the one thing about KJ that I think you have to excuse is his high assist total and that he's looking to assist the ball.
Make something happen.
And and so sometimes when you're doing that, to take you want to take a calculated risk, right?
Right.
But you got to take a risk, to make some of these passes work. And that's KJ, style of play. He's one of our top assisters on the team. I think he may be, as far as numbers concerned, second to Bradley maybe when it gets down to it of overall numbers. And so he's going to make a few there. But as you said, you don't want him to be boneheaded. You want him to be, plays that, it could have been a good pass, but the guy fumbled it or something like that, and they got it. But overall, man, you got to take your hats off, because KJ has been basically the backup point guard for this team. I mean, we thought it would have been Martinez, right? But KJ has basically taken on that role, so there'll be a couple assists, when you're having to face the pressure.
I think the big to answer your question, DK, the big issue is live ball turnovers that lead directly to points for the other team. I mean, the whole points off turnovers, they count if there's a turnover and the ball goes out of bounds, and then they inbound the ball and they score. That's a point off of a turnover. That's not a fast break live ball turnover. So if you're sloppy up at the top, maybe against a 1-3-1 matchup or some kind of 2-3 where they're trying to get in the passing lanes, guy gets his hand in there and goes down the court for an easy dunk, that's an unacceptable turnover at any time. The one, that little pocket pass that Carter Bryant made today, that was an avoidable turnover because the defense was playing him for the pass, but that's also a learning experience. Young man probably won't make that pass again. He'll probably take that baseline jumper next time. Overall, I think 10, Kelvin, especially for a team that's working the ball around and moving the ball around on offense so much, 10, I think anything under 12 is a good game.
Yeah, anything under 12 is really good for a full game, especially with all these new guys. I know they're starting to really know each other, but still, for Tommy to get these guys to be able to take care of the ball as much as they pass the ball, too, and to be able to come out of games with just 10 turnovers, I really don't complain when I see those numbers. Of course, you don't want guys to get loose, but, like I said again, it's only KJ had 3. The 2 from Townsend, troubled me more than the ones from KJ.
Yeah. A good analytics, advanced metric, DK, is turnover percentage. And that's the percentage of times you have a possession. What percentage of the possessions do you actually turn the ball over? Tonight, 15%. That was the turnover percentage that Arizona had, 52% on the scoring side of things. So 52% of every possession they scored, 15% they turned the ball over. That's a very, very good margin, those two. That's a good ratio between those two.
You asked about the assists, and interesting numbers here. Caleb Love, 57 assists, 34 turnovers, 28 steals. KJ Lewis, 57 assists, 38 turnovers, 29 steals. So they have almost identical numbers in those 3 categories.
And I'm going to tell you who I'm finna give love to, and that one is Love. KJ is known as a hustle guy, energy guy. For Caleb to be able to match that, and KJ has the role as the backup point guard. So for Love to be able to match the assists with him, and steals, which is effort and energy from your top scorer, man, you got to give him some love. right? Because I just think that the other guys see that, and that's why they're rooting for him. That's why they believe in him. Because, yeah, we see the missed shots, but then when you go and look at that right there, I guarantee you not too many people would have thought that he would be right there, so close with KJ. I knew it had to be somewhere close because of the numbers at the end of the day, but you wouldn't think it in the way that Love plays and the amount of shots that he get up that would be the case.
All right, let's hear. I went last here. Well, you mentioned right there my number one key, and that when you said 70, you got to keep them under 70 points. That is the number. They do not win when they do not at least get to 70 points this season. So Arizona Wildcats defense needs to be on full lockdown mode to keep the Buffs under that number. That'll be the number one thing to get out of here with a victory today. And again, I think for me, it goes back to what we talked about at the top of the show, aggressiveness on offense. Like Tommy Lloyd said, we want quality shots, but I think we also want to be aggressive in finding our quality shots, whether that's Caleb Love on the drive, whether that's Caleb Love, maybe not taking heat check threes, but taking good threes, whether that's Anthony Del Orso finding his opening to knock down and be the three-point shooter at 45% that he can be. We need to be aggressive in looking for our scoring opportunities. When Trey Townsend gets that ball on the elbow, he needs to take it strong to the basket and try to either score or get fouled. So aggressively look for your offense. That needs to come from everybody that's on the floor today, 1 through 8 or however many it is that Tommy Lloyd likes to play. And again, take advantage of these opportunities. I mean, this is going to be, I think we're going to have an electric environment the next 2 nights, or afternoon and night at McKale Center. These are the games you come to Arizona to play in front of a packed house. Students are back. We're in the middle of the conference season. This is when you want to get the motor running. So take advantage of that home throng that you're going to have starting today. But like J-Dub said, we cannot look ahead to Monday night. Got to concentrate. Like Tommy always he likes to tell us, we got to make the main thing the main thing. And the main thing today is the Colorado Buffaloes. Take care of them first, and then we can look on to the excitement of Monday night.
Wildcats fans, that's a look at your keys to the game. They're brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
Yeah, I liked the aggressiveness, again, that I saw of guys looking for their shots. Obviously, Anthony, aggressive shooting threes. I thought Trey was aggressive when he got the ball inside. We talked about Carter there on the elbow, taking those shots today. And again, I think that, even Caleb was looking for his opportunities to try to score the basketball. 14 shots, only, missed 11 of the 14, but I still think he needs to stay aggressive in shooting the basketball for this team. So I was happy with everything that I saw in terms of that from the guys today. 78-63 was the final over the Colorado Buffaloes. Kelvin, any final thoughts before we let you get out of here?
A good win with a big game looming, in a day, you're going to have to play, Iowa State. So great game, way to get it out the way. That first home win, you want to lock it in. So now all you got to worry about is putting that energy into the game plan. You got one day. I'm sure they've been getting ready for it, though. But you got, you got that one-day game plan right there. And the guys got to come out and execute, and get it done. So big game here in Tucson. I'm happy to see Iowa State here. These are the games that I was happy about us coming to the Big 12 to play in. The Baylors, the Iowa States, the Kansas of the world. Don't sleep on the Kansas States and the Texas Techs and the Houston, man. So
H-Town.
Yeah, we're getting into the thick of things, man, and we're right where we want to be. Get this win, and you're one of the top teams in conference. And I'll say this last thing. I think it's important how you play, because you want Houston and Kansas and all those other teams I just mentioned to know that you're coming.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. We will see you here in about 48 hours.
Yes, sir. Bro down, guys.
All right. That is the captain, Kelvin Efon. And we'll take one final timeout. We'll come back, hopefully hear from the head coach. give you your scoreboard and wrap things up. 78-63, Wildcats beat Colorado. It is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day on Wildcats Radio 1290. Our Window Depot post-game coverage of Arizona basketball rolls on. This is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. The post-game show is brought to you by Broadway in Tucson, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, Drain Medics, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Lexus of Tucson, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling and Plumbing, Rockin' K, a master plan community designed by nature, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Police Department, University Termite and Pest Control, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
With these scratchers, I'll win enough dough to enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally know how to fix your car right.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck on that, guys. But if you need a sure thing, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. No appointment necessary, call ahead's welcome, or just stop by any of the 14 area locations.
And check out our full page of promotions and discounts at jackfurriers.com.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 five-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE Eagle.
The Window Depot has everything you need to create the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. Browse the aisles of in-stock cabinets available in a variety of sizes and configurations and instantly elevate your space today. Visit a showroom and let our experts guide you. Whether you're choosing from ready-to-go designs or creating a custom masterpiece, we can help you select the perfect wood type, color, and style, and top it off with unique hardware to complete your look. Find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rockin' K, with home savings up to $25,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain, Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Buffaloes with the ball. KJ Lewis with a steal. Takes it away. Drives the lane. Goes to the bucket and lays it in.
Great defense from KJ Lewis, forcing turnovers, creating his own offense.
KJ Lewis, 12 points in the ball game. There were 3 Wildcats in double figures tonight. KJ Lewis had 12, 5 of 9 from the field. He missed all 3 of his 3-point shots, 2 of 4 from the line.
That play was a great play. I mean, because he stole the ball with his right hand. The ball was going out of bounds. He batted back with his left hand into his right hand on full speed, went up the sideline, and then took on 2 defenders, went up and under. He went by the first big man, approached the smaller guard, and then the big man recovered, and he went up and under the block of the big man. So, yeah, just an incredible play.
12 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 turnovers, 4 steals, 6 assists, and 4 steals for KJ Lewis in this ball
The
game.
2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, we talk about his 3 turnovers, DK, but from the 3 position, 2-to-1 is very acceptable.
Yeah.
Especially for a guy like that who's trying to make things happen.
We'll take it. We'll take it for sure. 78-63, the final. Does not look like we're going to have comments from Tommy Lloyd today, but we'll get you those a little bit later. Well, we might actually have them. I've been told that they are about to potentially be uploaded, so we'll go to our scoreboard, and then if we can get those comments to you here at the end of the program, we will do so. But first, let's tell you about what's happening today in college basketball.
Let's take a look at what happened around the rest of the country. The College Basketball Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers.
All right, we'll start with the Big 12 today, and it was Iowa State, the third-ranked team in the country, knocking off Arizona State 76-61. They held Arizona State to 21 points in the second half of that game. Curtis Jones, be on the lookout for him Monday. 33 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals for the Cyclones, who, again, turned the clamps up on defense. Sun Devils missed 7 of their last 8 shots down the stretch, and they lose it by 15 at home today to fall to 2-6 in conference play. Iowa State will come in here at 17-2 and 7-1 Monday night. Games in progress right now in the Big 12. Number 23, West Virginia, is down 20 on the road at Kansas State. Wildcats up 49-29. Second half of that game. They are just 1-6 in conference. Also at the half, the game of the day in the Big 12. Number 12, Kansas, leading number 7, Houston, 38-31. 2 other finals on the board. It was Baylor over Utah on the road, 76-60. And the big fella, North Chad Omier, a double-double, 22 points and 12 rebounds. Also today, Central Florida wins at home over TCU, 85-58. Keyshawn Hall, man, he had a big game after they left here up in Tempe against ASU. Had another big game today, 26 points and 8 rebounds for Keyshawn Hall as UCF wins, and they are now 4-4 in conference play. We will have Tommy Lloyd for you coming up after the conclusion of our scoreboard. Games in the top 25 today. In overtime, number 14, Mississippi State wins at South Carolina 65-60. South Carolina's been close in a lot of these games. They just can't get any wins. I think they lost at the buzzer at home the other day. I forget who it was, maybe Florida. Beat them at the buzzer. They lose again in overtime. They are 0-7 in the ACC. Texas, in their rivalry game against A&M, wins at home over the 13th-ranked Aggies 70-69. 30 points for Trey Johnson and the Longhorns today.
Real quick, DK, that Florida South Carolina game.
Yeah,
it's even worse than you described. They lost 70-69, but what's alarming about that is the 70-69 lead for Florida was their first lead of the game. So they lost to number 5 Florida by a buzzer beater, and it was the only deficit they faced all game long. They were up for 39 minutes and 59 seconds, basically.
All right. We had an interesting situation today in Nashville. We had another court storming as Vanderbilt beat number 9 Kentucky 74-69. Mark Pope's team is just 3-3 in the SEC. They stormed the court there in Nashville today, J-Dub. Apparently, the administration was trying to get the students not to do that.
Yeah, well, if people remember last year in the football season, Vandy beat Alabama, right? And they took a goalpost down, and the SEC implemented a new rule where it's a flat $100,000 penalty. So I saw a great picture of I think it was the AD, pleading with Vanderbilt's student body on the sidelines right before the end of that game, not to storm the court, but apparently that did not help. They did storm the court. So we'll see what the SEC has to say about all that.
All right, other games. Big Ten, number 8 Michigan State. They're unbeaten in league play, 8-0, 17-2 overall. The 8th-ranked Spartans win at Rutgers, 81-74. Number 2 Duke over Wake Forest, 63-56. The Blue Devils are 9-0 in the ACC. Oregon is the number 15 team in the country, but they lose on the road at Minnesota, 77-69. The Ducks are 5-4 in the Big Ten. Number 5, Florida knocks off Georgia by 30 at home today, 89-59. Those are all of the finals on your top 25. One game in progress involving ranked teams. Missouri, number 22, leading number 16 Ole Miss, 57-51. That is your college basketball scoreboard.
The College Basketball Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers.
All right, don't forget we've got women's basketball coming up tonight at McKale Center. We'll tell you more about that straight ahead. But right now, let's hear from the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Tommy Lloyd, after a 78-63 Wildcats win over Colorado.
All right. Good afternoon. Beautiful Tuesday, Tucson.
Say that Colorado playing 40 minutes of zone was not part of the scout, not the expectation?
Yeah, I mean, hey, you expect the unexpected. You know, we spent time on our zone offense, and obviously it took us a little time to figure it out. And you know, credit to Colorado. I mean, Tad's a really good coach. He's been around for a minute. You know, obviously his team's not playing probably as well as he would hope. And, you know, I mean, he was not afraid to you know, let it rip today and try a few different things. And in that, and, you know, offensively, I mean, they ran some, you know, a lot of baseline screening action and stuff like that we hadn't seen all year. So, you know, I mean, that's, you know, so much for practice the last few days. You know, I told Tad, like, next time, can you give me a little heads up? You know, that you're going to play the game of 40 minutes of zone and run these baseline screens. It would kind of help with our preparation a little bit. But, you know, we had to figure it out. And that's the beautiful thing about this game. It's complicated. You know, it's this amazing game that there's a lot of emotions in, and there's just so many random moments that you're just trying to, you know, unravel it all the time. And, you know, trust me, the moment you think you got to figure it out, man, you get humbled. And I thought our guys just did a good job hanging in there today, and we kind of went through the Rolodex of options and you know, kind of figure it out, some stuff spacing-wise and a lineup-wise with our zone offense that kind of felt a little bit better, you know, later in that second half. And defensively, you know, we figured out some stuff, too, that felt a little bit better in the way we were guarding them.
You felt that Toby Awaka was the difference maker in this game. What did you see from him?
I mean, Toby's a beast. I mean, he was awesome on the glass. And, you know, you play a zone. One thing a zone is hard to do sometimes is block out. And obviously we know Toby's a proficient rebounder, and I thought he really did a good job setting the tone early. I thought his second foul kind of, you know, stunted us a little bit, you know, because I was going to I think I was kind of looking at maybe giving him kind of an extended run to start the game because I just felt his physicality was making a difference, and I wanted to get off to a good start.
If you get what you got today from Toby and Anthony and Trey, how good could this team be?
Well, I mean, I think this team can be really good, you know, and I just think that we all got to understand it's not going to feel great all the time. And, I mean, I think if you look probably, it's one of those deals we've always said, you play against a team that zones a lot. There's just a little bit of a rhythm that's taken out of the game. And, from a fan perspective and a player's perspective, both, it doesn't feel right. But if you look at the end of the day, your efficiency is really close to where it normally is. So I just think that we just got to, make it feel a little bit better. And I think we can do that, but I think this team can be really good. And I still got my sleeves rolled up and my head down and my butt's up, and I'm digging a ditch. That's my mentality right now. I'm in it. I'm not thinking how good can we be. I'm not sitting there well, we could get to the second weekend. I mean, my mind's not there at all. My mind is, get through Colorado. Let's find a way, and then we got a great Iowa State team coming in here on Monday.
I know your focus obviously is on Colorado, but was there any concern, big game Monday night, quick turnaround and all that?
I mean, there better not be. I mean, if our guys are, the way our seasons went, if our team is looking past anybody, they're not in the right lane. And, I think the message was pretty direct from our staff on that. And, as competitors, I don't know if our guys – I know they didn't overlook Colorado. I just think they came out, and I think Colorado tried some things. And Colorado has some good players. They have some good players. They've been right there in a few of these games. So, if you come out and, if your coaches put together a game plan, and let's say, hey, guys, we're going to go do something we've never done before. We've been struggling, and it starts to work. You know what that creates? Belief, excitement. That's why coaches do that. And I think they capitalized on that today. So I think our guys did a good job of, the game is steady, and they kind of cut back into it right before half. And then, we felt like we got a little lead on them. And then I think they came back again. And then I think we kind of were able to extend our lead a little bit. So I think our guys did a great job of hanging with it and sticking to the task at hand, which was get a W one possession at a time.
Can you talk about Anthony creating space and so forth? Did you figure, he'd have nights like this where you had a lot of zone and he was?
I've told Deli all along, you got to stay locked in and ready, because there's going to be nights we might need you to be our leading scorer, and he did tonight. He was great. And then they kind of attacked him on defense. So then you end up in, a little bit stuck in between. Do you keep him on for his offense? Do you sub him out for his defense? And sometimes you just got to let a guy, play through it a little bit. And I think we were able to do that, and tonight, and he delivered. So Deli gets all the credit for that one.
About Jalen Bradley and his development at passing and being that point guard of the team from last season to where he is now, where he only has 7 points on 9 shots, but 6 assists and 1 turnover today.
Yeah, JB's made a ton of progress. he's really, become a steadying force for us. He's really has a consistency about him that I really appreciate. And he's somebody that I have a lot of belief in, and I'm very comfortable when he's out on the floor. And, he's come a long way. He's come a long way in a year and a half. And the cool thing about it is I still think there's a lot of room to grow.
Tommy, against the zone, did you feel like maybe at first the team was a little too passive in terms of attacking the paint?
A little bit. You want to attack the paint, but how? Do you attack it with a high post? Do you attack it with post-ups? And, I thought Trey got a couple baskets early against the zone, kind of getting it in there and, popped it into the high post, and they kind of played off him a little bit. And I think they were matching up man a lot of the times after the ball went into the high post. And then he was able to kind of, get down there with a little push floater or a little, shoulder to the chest, kind of a little bump floater. That was good. And then it just didn't feel like we had great rhythm for a while. And then kind of in the second half, we just kind of, I just going through the Rolodex, hey, you try Trey, you try Carter, you try Henry up there. And then, I knew Tobe would be good down low. And then we went to a 4-guard lineup. Even with Carter, we told him, hey, just space it. Let's play 4 out and connect some passes and see if we could find some gaps and some driving lanes there. So I felt like that was the adjustment that had the most impact. But, usually in your zone offense, you don't go to 4 out right away. You go to, these other things. So we were able to kind of cycle ourselves through some things. And then our guys did a great job once we went 4 out, and the game looked a lot easier.
With the short turnaround, is tomorrow more a walkthrough, or is it a full practice day?
We'll have to see. I don't know yet. I haven't thought about it. So we'll see. I don't know. Hey, we'll figure that out tomorrow. Obviously, you got a great team coming in here on Monday, and we as a staff will get together tonight and figure out what we feel like is the best path to victory. But I honestly haven't even thought about that.
Realizing you haven't scouted them yet, what's your early thoughts on what you've seen from Iowa State? Maybe just watching.
Really good team, playing with a ton of confidence. They got a real identity, and and they own it. And it's been impressive. It's impressive to see. I mean, those 3 guards in the backcourt are rock solid. Their bigs are tough. The Jefferson kid's really coming on. So, they're formidable. And, when you have an identity and you have confidence and you have veteran, experienced players that are used to winning, man, that's a potent combination. And they have those.
Some of the guys have talked about, that obviously they want to win the Big 12. I mean, is this an opportunity to, really make a statement with this team coming in?
I thought we made a statement today. You won a game at home in the Big 12. Well, I don't think it's anything more than that. I'm not going to, make it as our season hinges on Monday, but obviously it's a great opportunity for our program, and we ain't even thinking about winning the Big 12. Not yet. And you got to earn that right. You got to earn that right, because anything else is just words, and I hate words. I like action. So let's see if we get there. Let's see if we get there, and if we get there, it'll be a hell of an accomplishment, and we'll figure it out. But if we don't, we're going to fight to get the NCAA tournament and see what can happen there. But we're not in the position as a program right now to be talking about winning the Big 12.
You mentioned that you told Henry you're on the scouting report now. Today you got a rough first half, bounced back in the second. How was he handled?
Yeah, I mean, he's getting there. It's just there's going to be some ups and downs. But, obviously you guys see Henry. He could be a game changer. And, whether it's foul trouble or – just kind of easing himself into the game. I think he's got to figure that out a little bit in the first half. It's not like he's playing so many minutes he needs to pace himself. So, I would like to see a little quicker start from him. But that's part of, hey, it's like going to dirt bakes. It's part of growing up. It takes time. It takes time.
Can you just speak to the scoring droughts that Arizona has kind of gone through, like 4 to 5 minute scoring droughts in most games?
Yeah, in most games. Well, I don't know specifically what you're talking about. I don't know how often we're doing that. I think there's times our offense looks really good. I think there's times it doesn't. And I don't know. I would have to go back and see. And I don't have any real data in front of me here to say what to either to agree with you or contradict you. But I think, good offense is built on a lot of things. It's built on good defense. It's built on rebounding. That gets you in transition. They get you easy baskets. It's built on foul pressure. That gets you in the bonus. These are all the ways you can hedge your bet on half-court offense. You know what? Half-court offense is really hard. It's really hard. And it's no secret. If you look at efficiency in teams, true half-court offenses, it's always lower than transition. It's always lower than offensive rebounds. So, I think the more times you can get yourself out of half-court offense, and be efficient and in the open court, it's good. So, to me, that's probably what I would say. Are we getting enough stops? Are we rebounding the ball well enough? Because those things usually kickstart your offense.
What did Marshawn Lynch say? Be about that action, boss. Be about that action. That is the head coach, Tommy Lloyd.
There was a small stretch. You asked about scoring droughts today, DK.
Yeah.
They did go from the, 9-minute mark, basically 9-minute mark in the first. They had 23 points, and with about 3 minutes to go, they had 28. So they did score, 25 if you go back a minute. So there was a 4-minute stretch there where they scored 2 points. So as far as a scoring drought, people are going to point to the UCLA game. No field goals in the last 11 minutes of that game.
Right.
What was their last loss?
Texas
on the
Tech.
season? And they didn't score a field goal in that one in the last 6 minutes, right? So,
And again, that can be concerning with what you saw today from Iowa State at Tempe, where they basically held Arizona State without much of a field goal, or many field goals down the stretch as well. So good defensive teams can do that to you, and the Wildcats will need to be able to press through that if a game is close and they want to win it late on Monday against a team like Iowa State.
Their shot selection, DK, over these past 10 games has, maybe outside of that 6-minute stretch in Lubbock, that their shot selection has been much improved, and that's what Kelvin is always talking about, the adjustment period of adding in new guys into the system and a rotating flow-style offense like this. Who's going to take the shots and where are they coming from within the flow of the offense is something they all have to figure out as a group. They've figured that all out. So now the shots are coming from the right spots, from the right players. The question then becomes, if you get against a tough team like UCLA, that last 10 minutes, Texas Tech the last 6 minutes, getting good shots down the stretch of games has been a bit of a bugaboo for those two games in particular. You definitely got to get good shots down the stretch against a great defensive team like Iowa State.
Indeed, they will need to do that. All right, a couple other things before we get out of here. Arizona men's tennis had a home match today against Southern California, and they won it by a score of 4-0. So it doesn't matter what conference the Trojans are in, the Wildcats have taken to beating USC. I mean, we'll go back. There was a many years, 20-plus years, in which Arizona never beat USC in men's tennis. And now I think they've beaten them 3 years in a row. So shout out to Clancy Shields and his guys for the 4-zip win today over the Trojans to advance to the kickoff championship match tomorrow. That'll be out at the Tennis Center against Central Florida at 1 o'clock. They're trying to advance to the ITA National Indoor Championships, and if they win tomorrow, they will do just that. And it would be the first time in program history that Arizona had last season they qualified. Last season was the first time they'd qualified, so they're trying to do it now in back-to-back seasons.
Speaking of ITA, Arizona Wildcats men's tennis currently, DK, 6th in the nation in ITA rankings.
There you go. I like it. Ladies, not as fortunate. They lost today on the road at Pepperdine by a score of 4-1 in their match. That was also an ITA kickoff weekend match on the ladies' side. Basketball on the women's side coming up in about 45 minutes at McKale Center. 6:30 is tip-off. Wildcats at number 16, West Virginia. Again, for coverage of that on the radio, Derek Palmer will have that for you at KTUC AM 1400 beginning at about 6:15. We were talking real quick about the three-point shooting for Arizona, and we mentioned Brendan Lavender. Well, today just so happens to be Brendan Lavender's 34th birthday. Thanks to our listener, Amy Burton, over at Micah Mountain High School for letting us know about that today is Brendan Lavender's birthday. So happy birthday to Brendan Lavender. He was one of my originals. I call my originals people that were playing here the first year I got here to Tucson, which was 2008, 2009. That was Brendan's freshman year at the University of Arizona, a four-year player here. And we mentioned he's in the top 10 top 10 single season three-point percentage. That came in his senior year at the University of Arizona, and that would have been the 2011-2012 season. And did most of that off the bench. 113 threes, made 55, shot close to 49% off the bench for that team. So shout out to Brendan Lavender. Happy birthday, number 34. That's how I know I'm getting old, when guys I covered in college are now in their mid-30s.
Yeah. Time always wins.
Time always wins. All right. I'd like to thank everybody that was a part of these programs today. We had David Amata here running the dials on the AM side. Dusty Dale was on the FM side. Audio Bob will be running the dials at KTUC for the women's game coming up, so listen to that. Again, 6:15 coverage begins over there on 1400. We had Lath Sinclair on scoreboard today for Arizona Sports Enterprises. And as always, we like to thank you as well for listening. Once again, your final score here today in Tucson in front of 14,688 at McKale Center. It was the Arizona Wildcats 78, the Colorado Buffaloes 63, 20 points from Anthony Del Orso on 6 made three-point shots. Toby Awaka, that was a career high for him, points and field goals made from behind the arc. Toby Awaka with a career high 15 rebounds, 7 of which came at the offensive end. For J.W. Madden, for Calvin Ifan, my name is David Kelly. We'll talk to you again on Monday. 5 o'clock, airtime, Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. 8:30 tip-off, the Wildcats, and number 3, Iowa State. Enjoy Championship Sunday. We'll have all the games right here. Our coverage begins at 11 tomorrow. NFL preview, and the first game is at 1. That'll be the NFC Championship game between Washington and Philadelphia, followed right there afterward by the AFC Championship game, Buffalo and Kansas City. Have a great rest of your Saturday night, everyone. Appreciate you listening, and as always, bear down, Arizona.
W-I-L-D, Cats. W-I-L-D, Wildcats. W-I-L-D, Cats. Wild about the Cats. W-I-L-D, Cats. W-I-L-D, Wildcats. W-I-L-D, Cats. Wild about the Cats.
The big thing now is we got to challenge those guys as far as three-point shot. Okay, let's go. Come on, Tom! Kenny, you got to get on him now. He's the guy they're looking for. Who's got 13? W-I-L-D. Cats. W-I-L-D. Wildcats. W-I-L-D. Cats. Wild about the Cats.
Bear down, Wildcat Nation. You've been listening to our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball. The Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show has been brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. Join us right here on Game Day for complete coverage of Arizona basketball. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Has your car insurance gone up recently? You're not alone. But with so many insurance companies out there, it's hard to know where to search for the best deal. Compare.com is an online insurance marketplace that makes car insurance companies compete for your business. Why search for them when they can come to you? With Compare.com, you'll get access to quotes from dozens of well-rated insurance carriers in your state right now. Compare.com is fast, easy, and secure. The whole process takes less than 10 minutes, and you can check for new rates at any time. With Compare.com,